Good evening. I'm very much happy to be here with you tonight because I know that you have in common with me the passion for Jesus Christ and the passion for His church. I knew very little about this group. I know that you were existing, but I knew very little. I had a conversation with Mr. Mayor in my office and he briefed me about your mission, your activities, your desire. And he asked me, what can you do as a group for the church? Yes, you can do something for the church. Continue to be what you are. The East that led the church from inside. The bridge between our society and Jesus Christ. Coming here to the Philippines, I come at the end of my life. I spent 23 years in Africa, working with the different activities for the Pope and for the Vatican. Then I was evacuated from the country I was working because there was a war, 10 years war in West Africa, Sierra Leone. They killed 6 sisters of Mother Teresa, one by one in front of me, 5 American sisters. Precious blood adorers, I believe you know them, were also killed. So the government decided to evacuate all the missionaries, and I asked to be relocated somewhere because to go back to Italy, to go back to my country, so what is the use of being a missionary? And they sent me to America. They didn't like America because I come from a British background. And I was working with the Chinese in America, in Chicago, and I came to appreciate the Asian culture. When I finished my job, because I was pastor, parish priest, I asked to be reassigned again because there was very little else to be done. And I was sent here to the Philippines. These are the best years of my life. And I'm really believe that the Lord prepared me for this job. I'm here in the church, in the parish, working at university and giving retreat. Only 2 years are not enough to have an idea of the country, but it is visible. Usually, only the newcomers can see poems in the house. Coming here, I noticed the great faith of the Filipino people, but the big gap that exists between what we claim to believe and our behavior. Our church here starts being busy Friday night and we finish Sunday evening. People crowd our churches, but their faith disappears as soon as they set foot outside the church. Where are the Christians outside the church? Can people tell from our behavior that we are Christians? Is it possible that all the prostitutes, both male and females, are all Muslims or atheists? And how could they go to church on Sundays when they have been spending the night Soho and other places? I was reading a lot to understand the person, the people better. And here there was an article by Conrado de Quiros on Inquirer, April 23rd. He was telling us that the Philippines topped the world in faith. 94% of the Filipino people claim to believe in God. 94. Whereas in Chile, only 88%, and in America, 81%. So we are a very religious country, and thank God for that. But can people tell that we are Christians by the way things are done? The world does not need teachers. The world needs witnesses, martyrs. But back to the survey, I was reading how Manila is the third worst city in the world for driving. I like to drive. I drive along the Commonwealth and Congressional, and I enjoy the traffic. But I don't think that everybody does. I believe that there is a lot of dangers traveling, and not to mention the air pollution, the garbage collection, the flood control, and the need for security. Many people are killed, they just disappear. In 2001, Manila borrowed 60 million from the World Bank for transit-related activities, specifically to promote non-motorized transport. We can ask ourselves what happened to that money. In another survey, the Philippines are rated the most corrupt country in Asia. Indonesia and Thailand follow. They are very second. Also, the Philippines have been listed among the 10 most difficult countries in the world to do business. Because foreign businessmen are weary of the Philippines' unstable legal system, violence, and bureaucracy. Manila is the third most dangerous city in Asia, after Kabul and Baghdad. And we know that that is so because there is a war. There is no war here in the Philippines. Manila also is said to be notorious for street crimes, number of unlicensed firearms possessed by gangsters who are on a robbing spree almost every night. What do we have to say? That religion is the heritage and something exclusive of people who are backward, that progress and religion do not mix. I believe that our religion shows a display of fervor which makes belief and faith superficial. You have there the ear of the faith. I see with great joy the great respect that you show to the priest and to the nun. I like when they come for the blessing after Mass. You know why? Because you remind me of what I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be your father. I'm supposed to bless you. I'm supposed to encourage you. I'm supposed to be an example to you. Although I'm not, you say, Father, at least you try. So how can I look at somebody with a lustful eye when you ask for my blessing? I see the respect, and the priest and the nun gave it for granted. I was reading again about the church in the Philippines, and there was an article whose title struck me was Pray, Pay, and Obey. This is what the Catholic Church wants for you people. Pray, pay, obey. I believe it is not so. I believe it is offensive to say such a thing. But if this has been printed, and if this has made you smile, it means that there is some truth in it. And we have to be extremely careful. Here we are very happy, but because of the attendance in church. But personally, I'm not happy. You know why? The parish is 73,000 people. This church can contain maybe 800. So, to accommodate all the Christians, members of this church, we should have 73 masses every Sunday. So, in reality, who is attending is only not even 20%. And then 20%. Then many people stay outside because the doors are open, this way, the other one. Other people talking, selling some pagitas, rosaries, and other stuff. That is not going to church and pray. And that makes me very sad because I wish I could reach out to everyone. There is a group of people that is missing from our assemblies. I don't know if you noticed them. There are from 19 to 30, more or less. They are always at the end of the church, at the very back of the church, and sometimes they speak to little children outside. But you don't see them coming and sharing in the liturgy. This worries me a lot. These people here are not against the church. The church simply doesn't mean anything to them. It is only tradition. They are afraid. Should the priest first learn or should learn? They are afraid. But this is not faith. Now, why they don't come? Because what we say is irrelevant. It doesn't make any sense to them. I was hearing the confession of little children that are being prepared by the catechist. She gave them a card, and in English. I read the card. Wow. They're children of 7 years of age. I am really sorry for having offended thee, for having deserved to go to hell. Wow. You want to send to hell this little child only because he stole 20 pesos from the dollar, or he disobeyed the parents. Who child has not done it? It's not that I have anything, against children going to confession. I have something to say about this golden opportunity being missed. Because what we said maybe makes sense in English, but in Tagalog does not make any sense whatsoever. And there is no effort on the side of the catechist to reach out to the world of the child, to put in a language that the child can understand what he has done and give hope to the child. Not the children were shaking over it. My heart was breaking. So we should be able to reach out to them. I was looking on the internet, all the huge crowds that the Black Nazarene, San Camino, Dina are able to gather around themselves. And I was asking why people are rubbing, kissing, touching. I believe that what the Filipino people want is a personal, transforming experience of Jesus Christ. One thing is a book about love. One different thing is to experience the power of love when you fall in love. One thing is to read about God. One thing is to meet God. And this is what they want us. They tell us, please don't give us one more book, one more devotion. Help us to reach out to Christ. Help us to meet Christ in my life. I go to university, Far East University, a normal university, to talk to the students over there and to celebrate Mass for them. I see that the Philippines is greatly advancing in technology. So those people receive the best education at university from the technological point of view. Sometimes they pass in front of the church, they make the sign of the cross, and they pass. Now, whereas the knowledge that they receive is a highly sophisticated technological knowledge, the religion beliefs that they have are very naive, very simple. It is like wanting to jump at a certain age in the clothes that you were wearing when you were young. No way. No way the little faith they received at home can compare with the sophisticated technology knowledge that they have. So, little by little, they will just brush it aside. Especially because the knowledge that they have deals with sex. And for the Catholic Church, everything dealing with sex is taboo. No, 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 no. still takes. Where these people come from is not, if not from sex and from married life. We should not be afraid of that. So we should be able to give an experience, the reason for our experience. And the experience that we have, and that the church has to have it, because I don't know if you agree with me, if not, you can correct me. I have the impression that the church in the Philippines is very arrogant. We are very strong with the numbers. We just tell people what to do. To be a priest has become a sign of progressing. I come from a family that did not believe in God. And to them, that there should be a priest, it was not progressing, it was regressing. Because I was not allowed to marry, to have my family, to have the children, and life would have died with me. Here said to become a padre, to become a madre is very great. We forget that if there is a difference, it is because I have to serve you. I am a priest, and this bothers me a lot, because my question is, am I a good priest? And then, what will Christ say when I will appear in front of him? The thought that I'm a Christian like everybody else consoles me. Because Jesus came, is the good shepherd who will carry us on his shoulder. So, the priesthood is only a service. We should compete on who is the lowest one. And we, clergy, we have taken away from you people part of your priesthood. Because if I consecrate the host and the bread and wine in church, you, outside the church, consecrate the whole wall. This is what is required of you. That you receiving Christ from the priest in church, you bring Christ to the courtrooms, to the parliament, to the schools, to the hospital, to the barracks of the soldiers. This is called the common priesthood. Sometimes people look at how you are. I say, but I would not be a priest if I had not been baptized. Baptism and the common priesthood is the foundation on which the ministry priesthood is based. Priesthood is a service. Priesthood is to wash the feet of each other. This is what we should remind our church. Now, I was asking, we are living in a very privileged situation because the people are not against the church. But my heart sinks when I hear priests that did not prepare the homily, and there are many. When I hear priests cracking jokes or saying, Viva! Viva? What do you mean, Viva? People are not stupid. We don't realize that in the pews, as now, there can be simple people, but there can be lecturers, psychologists, sociologists. To tell jokes from the altar is a very bad thing. First of all, because priests cannot tell jokes. They are not able. They don't make anyone laugh. Secondly, because we are forgetting that priests and faithful are in front of God. This is not a theater. The altar is a burning bush because it's the presence of Christ. You never, a priest celebrating Mass, never leaves the altar as he was at the beginning. He's same with you when you receive the Eucharist. Either you are a better person or you are a worse person than before. The fire melts and the fire hardens. If your faith is very little, when you celebrate, you lose the faith. If the faith is there, it will increase. So we cannot play at the altar. The altar is something that challenges you, that challenges me. It's not a show. is a community in front of other God. So also the preaching has to be qualified. Ignorance on the mouth of a priest is a mortal sin. And at times we priests tend to smuggle our ignorance under the name of faith. Faith begins when reason ends. First, God gave you the brain, use it, and then you use the faith. God is three in one. Why did God tell us that? Or is it a mystery? If it is a mystery, why God should tell us about Himself if we cannot understand? What is the relevance of claiming to believe in God that is a Trinity? Unless a God that is a family creates another family, your own. In order to help people to be more committed to their faith. Here in the parish we have, every 2 weeks we have meetings in the library. Over there with PowerPoint presentations in Tagalog and in English for people to deepen their faith, to take Christ a bit more seriously. I'm consoled to see all of you here at this time of the night listening, because it means that you are really sincere. It means that you are really committed. It means that Christ means something to you. You are the little pinch of salt that keeps the world from falling apart in decay. We are the light of the world. We are the pinch of yeast that is able to ferment the whole world. Now, Christ has taken us seriously, entrusting us with this mission. The question is, do we take Him seriously also? Does Christ really be the center? Is really He the center of our families? You, as married people, you are a little cell in the big body that is the church. You are the presence of Christ in a society that is without Christ. The violence around us, the corruption tells us that it's only an empty shell. There is no reality behind. Will we be able to do everything? We don't know. We try our level best, and we trust in God that chose us, consecrated us, and sent us to the world. I will follow you in my prayers, wherever you come around, and it's very consoling to know that there are people that are ready to give the whole of their lives to Jesus Christ, because Christ is worthy of all love. And may God bless you.